This is the mini performance task 1. Pilots at an air show perform a loop-the-loop. The pilots are oriented upside down at the top of the loop. And what is their natural tendency while in circular motion? In a loop-the-loop maneuver, pilots remain inside the cockpit due to a combination of centripetal force and gravity. At the top of the loop, while upside down, the centripetal force provided by the curvature of the loop acts as a gravity substitute. This force pushes the pilots towards the center of the circular motion, effectively holding them and preventing them from falling out. While in circular motion, the natural tendency of an object is to move in a straight line due to its inertia. However, the centripetal force continuously changes the direction of the pilot's motion, keeping them in the circular path of the loop-the-loop. And next is the mini performance 2, the Kepler's 3 laws of planetary motion. The 3 laws are law of ellipses, law of equal region, and the harmonic law. So let's discuss the Kepler's law. First is the law of ellipses. The law of ellipses, one of Kepler's 3 laws of planetary motion, asserts that each planet in our solar system follows an elliptical orbit around the Sun, with the Sun located at one of two foci of ellipse. This law challenged the previous notion that planetary orbits were perfect circles. Understanding the elliptical nature or orbits provides a more accurate representation of celestial motion, impacting our comprehension of variation in distance, speed, and seasonal changes in a planet's orbit. Kepler's groundbreaking work laid the foundation for a more precise understanding of planetary dynamics. Next is the law of equal region. Kepler's law of equal area states that a line segment connecting a planet to the Sun sweeps out equal areas in equal time intervals. This implies that a planet moves faster when closer to the Sun and slower when farther away. This law is the consequence of the conservation of angular momentum and helps explain the varying speed of planets in different parts of their elliptical orbits. The significance lies in providing insight into the dynamics of planetary motion, contributing to a more accurate understanding of celestial mechanics. And lastly is the harmonic law. The square of an orbital period of a planet is directly proportional to the cube of its semi-major axis. According to Kepler's harmonic law, also called the law of periods. Put more simply, it connects the average distance from the Sun to the amount of time it takes a planet to orbit the Sun. This formula reveals a logical mathematical connection between a planet's orbital period and its solar distance, offering a key window into the composition of our solar system. The development of celestial mechanics was greatly aided by Kepler's harmonic law, which laid the groundwork for Newton's theories of motion and universal gravity. And for the mini performance 3 is how Newton came up with his law of universal gravitation. Isaac Newton formulated his law of universal gravitation in the late 17th century. He was inspired by observing an apple fall from a tree. This led him to ponder the forces that govern objects' motion on the earth and in space. Newton realized that the same force pulling the apple to the ground might extend to the moon, keeping it in orbit around Earth. Imagine two masses like planets represented by balls. The force pulling them together is depicted by an arrow, emphasizing that the force gets stronger with increasing mass and decreases with greater distance. This insight revolutionized our understanding of celestial mechanics and remains of a fundamental principle in physics. Having recently completed his first physics course, Noah Formula has devised a new business plan based on his teacher's physics for better living theme. Noah learned that objects weigh different amount at different distance from Earth's center. His plan involves buying gold by the weight at one altitude and then selling it at another altitude at the same price per weight. Should Noah buy at a high altitude and sell at a low altitude or vice versa? Noah Formula should buy gold at a higher altitude, where the weight is slightly less due to the weaker gravitational force. When he sell it at a lower altitude with a stronger gravitational pull, the weight appears greater, allowing him to sell it for a higher price per weight. This takes advantage of the variation in gravitational force at different altitudes, potentially maximizing his profits. Imagine yourself as an amusement park guide and there are children asking you about the physics behind a rotating ride in the park. Video yourself while explaining an amusement park ride that moves in circular motion. Gather round as we delve into the physics of our thrilling circular ride. So children, you're seated in a spinning wonder, maybe magical teacup, or a breathtaking carousel. Now imagine you have a favorite toy on a string and you're swinging it around. The force that keeps your toy moving in a circle is a lot like the force acting on you. During the ride, it's called centripetal force. This force is directed towards the center of the circle, or the ride in this case, and prevents you from flying off. As the ride spins, you feel a pull towards the center, making you press against the seat. This sensation is caused by centripetal acceleration, a fancy term for the change in your velocity direction, always pointing towards the center of the circle. So children, the magic keeping you safe and giggling on our circular adventure is the enchanting centripetal force and acceleration.